Mental MMA. UFC Fight Night, Rio Rancho, New Mexico, Albuquerque. Great fights on this night too, guys. I stayed up all night for you. I haven't even been asleep, man. Daniel Rodriguez got Tim Means in a tight guillotine. It was so tight he could have connected his shoulder with his fist. It was so tight, man. It was a tight one. So Means tried to grab a leg to recover, but he got caught in that guillotine because of that. He's not really that kind of a wrestler that can do that and get away with it with everyone. Lando Venata, you always know he's exciting to watch. Medeiros is exciting to watch. That was a good fight. Venata got the decision, but that was an exciting decision as well. While Brock Weaver was sitting on his butt, flat on his butt, no knees. He was flat on his butt, legs out in front of him. Brock Weaver gets kneed straight in the face, flush, knocks him out. He wakes up, he's barely out of it. And of course, Vargas gets DQ'd because of that, and rightfully so. These guys got to watch what they're doing. You got to understand the rules. And if a guy's on the ground, he's vulnerable because of the rules. Brock was not intending to block a knee to the face while he's sitting on his butt flat with his back against the cage. He's not expecting that, so he can't defend that because he knows in the rules that this guy is not going to do this to him because he can't. You can't soccer kick someone. You can't head stomp like, in these rules these days. So he can't defend against that because he's not expecting it. And if someone does that to you, it's completely illegal. So I'm glad he got DQ'd for that. Same thing happened later on in the night. Michel Pereira was fighting Diego Sanchez, and the same thing happened again. Diego was down. He was down with one butt on one foot and then one knee. So he was completely down. Diego was not expecting to get a knee to the head. Michel knees him straight to the head, flush, cuts him open right here. This guy it's a blatant illegal knee to the head on a downed opponent. And it did damage. If the fight would have continued, then he would have been bleeding into his eye all night long, But he asked Diego if he could continue. Diego said he couldn't. He said he couldn't see out of that eye. I'm not sure how true that was. So I think Diego was really, taking advantage of the rules, which he should. They're on his side. I think Diego took the DQ. I think if it were a legal knee, Diego just would have kept fighting. But it was illegal, and I don't blame Diego for doing this. I don't blame him for enforcing the rules. He said this before they fought. He said Michel's going to come in overweight. He said if he comes in, which he didn't, but he said if he comes in overweight, he goes, I'm not going to fight. I don't care if it's only 6 ounces. I'm not going to fight. These guys got to start being accountable for breaking these rules and not being professional. I agree with Diego completely, 100%. Michel should have been disqualified. Herzog shouldn't even given them a chance to continue. Even though I think Diego could have continued, I think Diego used that knee to take the DQ. But at the same time, I don't blame Diego for doing it, and I think Michel should be punished, and maybe he'll learn a lesson from this. But yeah, that was a good one. So last fight, knockout of the night, man. Jan Błachowicz knocks out Corey Anderson, completely out. He knocks him out on his feet. Corey goes to the ground, and then he actually Jan starts it with a right hook. Yeah, it's like a low right hook. And then when Corey's on the ground, he gives him a right hammer fist and knocks him completely out. Corey is completely unconscious. John Jones is in the audience because they're in Albuquerque. It's where John Jones lives and trains. John Jones is in the audience. Jan Błachowicz goes up to the side of the cage to John. He points at John Jones, and he starts talking smack to him, saying like, I want you next, not in a bad way, but just like in a, kind of like a good sportsman challenging way, like in a fun way. So it wasn't aggressive or anything. And then John stands up, he starts doing his thing like this right here, and then eventually John stands up on his seat, and he's going like that right there, like, I'll take your challenge. So that was a cool night. I'm not sure if they'll be fighting next, but John was hyped up over it, and I think he was hyped up over the knockout. I think he kind of fanboyed out on the knockout. But yeah, so John called him out, and he could possibly be next in line to fight John Jones. So that'll be good to watch. And of course, when there's a little bit of history with Corey Anderson, who got knocked out, and John Jones. I think John was glad to see that. I think it was about a year ago or something like that. Corey Anderson shows up at John Jones's booth when John is representing some company at a fitness expo or something. And Corey comes up with some friends, starts causing trouble. John Jones, cussing him out in front of kids, challenging him to he wants him and he's gonna beat him. And Corey was barely top 10 at the time, so I don't know what his thing is, but he's trying to make some noise with John Jones. Real bad language in front of kids and people and stuff. It was just really trashy thing to do. So I think John was glad Corey got knocked out. But anyway, that's the fights for this weekend, guys. Stay tuned. Tomorrow, I'm going to have a video uploaded that I actually recorded yesterday where I'm talking about weight cuts. I'm talking about weight cutting. I'm talking about fighting in your real weight class and some other, and judging. Go to my website, mentalmma.com. It has everything on there. I got an awesome poll going on there right now where you can vote on a choice I have of who I want to be the topic of my first episode of Warriors of the Past, which is a show I'm going to be doing about fighters in the past that either new fans don't know about or old fans forgot about, that were legit either badasses or legends of the sport. And you're gonna, when you see these names, you're gonna freak out over some of these guys that I have on there. You're gonna go, wow, Jason really pulled these guys out. So I want you to go on my website, mentalmma.com. If you haven't subscribed, please, I just started this channel. This is what I do. I want you to subscribe to this channel. Ring that bell down there. Subscribe to it. Check out my videos. I have all the news on MMA, Bellator, UFC, RUF 38 in Arizona, and anything else that comes up. And by the way, on my website, I have everything you could possibly think of. I even have a 24/7 live news feed for MMA headlines. You go to my website, you can keep up with all the news right on my website, right there. You don't have to go looking for it. I got a full feed that goes 24/7, up to the minute results, and you can watch all my videos, anything that I do. Go to mentalmma.com and my YouTube channel right here, guys. I'm out for tomorrow. I'll see you later.
Mental MMA.